Hey, what's up? This is Gary from Raz Rentals, and today was a pretty exciting day. Do you know why? Because I finally got my brand new Kenner Real Ghostbusters Bug Eye Ghost reissue. I ordered this back in March. Today is May 24th or 25th, something like that. So it was a 3-month waiting period, but I finally got it. I'm excited to take a look at them. I also ordered Fearsome Flush and the Ecto 1 at the same time. You know, Ecto 1 isn't supposed to come out until later this year, but Fearsome Flush, I'm a little worried about him because on Walmart, he's sold out, and I haven't gotten any kind of shipping for him yet. I kind of feel like they're probably going to cancel my order, you know, especially after last year's Real Ghostbuster debacle. But I'm not sweating it too much because, to be honest with you, out of both of these, and I have the originals of each of them, and out of both of them, I was more interested in Bug Eye Ghost anyways. Like, Fearsome Flush, to me, was just kind of like a bonus. So, we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know if I get them, all right? So, all right, so I got Bug Eye Ghost here in the mail, and this is the original one, and I'm going to do a very thorough, in-depth comparison of this guy with the new one. We'll see how everything's changed. All right, but check out this, all right? I got this box from Walmart, and look at this. Ooh, they put, they put some bubbles in here. That's good. That'll protect my figure, right? Well, look at this. Look how they packaged this. They completely bent this over. They bent this in half and just shoved it in here. So it's like who gives a, they could have saved the extra 50 cents on that bubble tape or whatever, because it doesn't make a difference now. They already, creased the crap out of this. It doesn't make that much of a difference for me because I was going to open this anyway, but I do like to keep the cards, and I'm just going to have to straighten this thing out. But this is like, who the hell is in charge of shipping or packing over in Walmart? Somebody needs to have a talking with them. All right, so I don't have an original Bug Eye Ghost on card. I don't even have the card of a Bug Eye Ghost from back in the day, which is very unfortunate. Usually I like to even collect the cards from back in the day, even if they're loose. But I do have an H2 Ghost from way back when, and I don't know if the card of the original Bug Eye Ghost is around the same size of the H2 Ghost. Like that, the card is very, very big, and this actually looks sort of similar in size to that. Pretty much the same width and also the same height. So, this looks pretty close to the original Ghost card. Now, on the back here, see, H2 Ghost and Bug Eye Ghost were released in the same wave way back in the day. That was like the second wave of the Real Ghostbuster action figures in 1987. The first wave was just the 4 guys, Slimer, Stay Puft, and I don't know if Ecto, I can't remember if Ecto was a part of that. So, the secondary ghosts came in the second wave, which had the 4 guys again, same suits. But it had Slimer, Stay Puft, and then it had H2 Ghost, Bat to the Bone Ghost, Bug Eye Ghost, and the Gooper Ghosts, which, are some of my favorite ghosts of all time. So you can see them all in the back here. You got the 3 Gooper Ghosts over here. You have the Ectoplasm, Bat to the Bone, H2 Ghost, Bug Eye Ghost. And, if you haven't seen, on my channel, I have reviews of all the Gooper Ghosts. Even the one that isn't here, the Slimer Gooper Ghost. So go check those out. Those are some of my... If you're a fan of Real Ghostbusters, those are some of the best ghosts of all time. So I will say this. On the packaging here, in the background, of course, you have Kenner written down at the bottom because it was originally released by Kenner, and over here you have Hasbro. I will say this, that the back of this feels very empty. Like, I feel like, they should have at least included, because you can still find them in stores, they should have included the 4 guys and Slimer and Stay Puft. Just having 3 things on the back here just feels very vacant and just, it's just, it could be so much more fuller than this. But in general, though, everything is very similar. Join the Real Ghostbusters in their ghost-chasing pursuits on both. Now, see, the picture of Bug Eye Ghost there in that picture and the hand coming down to hit the back of it, that's not the original pictures. That's, of course, of this new toy. You can tell because of the the size of the eyeball and the hole that the eyeball sits in, right? But we're going to take a closer look at that once we actually look at the toy here. If you look at the artwork on the front of the card, you'll notice that it pretty much looks just like the original one. Like I said, I don't have the original card to show you, but if you compare it, it looks very similar. Only this is kind of like the special edition Real Ghostbusters card art. You know, the original ones were done in probably airbrush or paint or something like that. And these new cards look as though they scanned those original pictures and, you know, probably turned them into vector drawings. So everything has been like smoothed out, and you know, they probably turned them into vector drawings so that they could, you know, decrease the size or blow this up and still have it be consistent, and you know, or maybe they just wanted to make this look more digital and more, you know, current. Okay, so now it's time for the deep dive, the deep comparison of the original 1987 Bug-Eye Ghost and the brand new 2021 Bug-Eye Ghost, all right? So, first things first. First, we got to mention this. The details on this face are so much sharper than this brand new one. The original one, like if you look at the color of the body and the arms, they look almost exactly the same, you know, and this, you know, the arm is solid and the body is rotocast, so it's actually hollow inside of there. So when you squeeze them, you know, all the air, the pressure from the air inside pushes the eyeball out. It's kind of hard to squeeze him because he's so hard. And because he's hard, you can see all of that, you know, extra detail on his back. Like everything is still very solid looking. And like I said, the materials that they use must be similar from the body to the arm. The brand new one is not made of the same kind of materials. I believe that, you know, I think the body is made more of like a soft vinyl, where this is kind of like a harder plastic. Like this isn't really like bendy or anything like that. Even the original one's arms were a little bendy, but this one is not. This one is very hard, and the body is very soft vinyl. So because he's so soft, like a lot of the detail in his face and his body is gone. Well, I mean, it's there. It's just not anywhere near as sharp. So it's kind of harder to make it out. Like all these veins and stuff like that, they are just so much less pronounced than the original one. I must be talking a lot. I'm starting to lose my voice here. So, yeah, like they're all there. All the same shapes and stuff like that. They're there. They're just very soft, and you kind of lose them in the body. Also, because of the differences in material here, the body is a very like deep purple, and the arms are more, I guess, more of a bright purple. It might be kind of hard to see it on film, but trust me, when you see it in hand, it's definitely there. Like you definitely notice right off the bat. The next thing you probably noticed, or probably the first thing you noticed, was just the size of the eyeballs. You know, the original one, the eyeball is pretty small, or, you know, normal sized. And this brand new one, it's huge. I don't know why they decided to do that. But like I said, it doesn't really, from what I've seen from playing around with this, it doesn't really help the action feature at all. In fact, the older one works better. I thought maybe that they made this bigger to kind of help the action feature, because sometimes you get these Bug-Eye Ghosts and they don't work so well. But this one does not work as good as this one. And because of this, since this eyeball is so big, they had to cut out a whole lot more detail and sculpt, you know, whatever. It's like, if you look at this one, you have more of the eyebrows, you have more stuff going on up top, and this one, they just kind of cut all that out there to put this eyeball in. So, like I said, I don't know why they did that. Maybe they made the eyeball bigger. Maybe it was like a choking hazard or something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. It's kind of a shame. From what I can tell, the print on the eyeball looks like exactly the same thing, like I said, except it looks like it's been mirrored. But like, if you look the opposite sides of this, they pretty much all line up. It's just a little softer. I wonder if this is another one of those things where they maybe made it into like some kind of vectored art or something like that, and that's why you're losing some of these harsher shapes. Another thing you'll notice is that the paint on the original one, I think, is done a lot nicer. The teeth are actually completely covered in paint, where this one they just kind of did a little tiny brush stroke on the top, but left the sides of the teeth unpainted. And I just think that maybe the eyeballs on the original one are painted a little cooler than this one. Like I said, once you lose all that detail in there, like, it looks very similar. It's just not the same. I will say this too is, a lot of these toys, the real Ghostbuster ones, like the Ghostbusters themselves, and even Slimer and Stay Puft, when they remade them for these reissues, they kind of shrunk them down a little bit. But this Bug-Eye Ghost looks almost exactly the same size. This part up here looks a little stretched out, but in general, he looks pretty much the exact same size. It's just all the details here are very, very soft. I mean, look at all these veins and stuff like that on this guy. I mean, you could just clearly make them out. Here's another thing, if you didn't know, that I just found out last year during one of those Ghostbusting Hasbro things that they were doing. Look at the face on his back. There's a face on Bug-Eye Ghost's back here. I did not know that. Here's a detail that is like almost lost on the new one here. This like little eyeball. I mean, you could clearly see it on the original one, and here it's still there. It's just very, very soft. The details on the hands are very similar, but again, they're a little softer on the brand new one. Like, just looking at the two arms side by side, it's kind of hard to tell any kind of difference in length or really width or mass or anything like that. But the telltale sign here that there is some kind of difference going on is that if you look at the space between his shoulder and the body, there is a big gap there. And on the original one, there isn't a gap. So I assume that this arm is smaller, or could this body be even possibly be a little bigger? I don't know. But it's not lining up to the same spot that it used to. It almost appears as though like this part of the body is lower. Yeah, it looks like this is kind of like sagging down a little more than the arm on the original. Yeah, that is lower. Huh. If you line the bottom of these guys up, the new one is actually a little bit longer, just by a little bit. Can you believe that? Kind of looks like a heart. On the bottom here, everything looks pretty similar. Even this little hole here that he's got that keeps the eyeball string in place. It's still relatively the same shape and everything. So this is pretty, other than the color being off. I mean, like I said, even this color doesn't match this arm. It's a very somewhat faithful representation of the original toy. Like, you could get this and it'd be cool. Like, the biggest, right now for me, the biggest negative is just how gigantic this eyeball is, just because you're losing some of this extra detail in here, like the eyebrow and stuff like that. But, like, really, do most people care about that? Probably not. I think most people would probably just be happy to find this in Walmart and take it home with them. So, I can't complain too much. All right, let's take a look at the eyeballs. Look at that. Even the string color is very similar. It's like almost the exact same thing. The eyeballs are bigger. I don't know why they did that. I'd be curious why they had to make the eyes bigger. But this one actually has more of like tabs. It's got one tab. It's got that tab right there. The original eyeball did not have that at all. No. But look how much more white this one is than this one. Let's see the length of the string. Ooh. Okay, so the string on the original Bug-Eye Ghost is a lot longer than this brand new one. There's probably like I don't know, like 8 to 10 inches more string here. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I wonder if they did that so that, like, you know, kids wouldn't be shooting this at other kids or whatever. Not that kids are going to be buying these toys anyways. I mean, come on. All the scalpers are going to pick them up. You know, have you seen these crazy scalpers going and fighting each other over Pokemon cards in Target? It's crazy out there. Back in my day, when I was a kid, we could go to Target and find what we wanted, no problem. So, we're going to compare the two action features of these Bug-Eye Ghosts. And first, we're going to look at the 1987 Bug-Eye Ghost. Can I say Bug-Eye Ghost any more times? So, in order to take a look at this action feature, we're going to use a Ecto-Glow Peter and a Slimed Heroes Winston, because, you know, everybody's always using the same Ghostbuster toys, so I might as well throw some Ghostbusters you hardly see in reviews. So, all right, here's the deal. Now, the bottom of this guy, that plug there, that's the piece that connects to the string. You want to make sure that you have a very good seal on this. Sometimes these will pop out of place, and when you squeeze them, the air will come out of the bottom. That's no good. You don't want that because, you know, you need all the pressure in there to push the eyeball out, you know. That has to be the escape for the air. And like I said, this is very hard, you know, and it's kind of difficult to do it with one arm. All right, I'm going to come out from this direction so I don't accidentally cover up my my video camera. So, let's see. Oh, but did you see how far that flew? I missed the Ghostbusters, but that actually shot out really well. And like I said, it's very, very solid. I'm actually surprised that that worked. Oh, Winston fell down just because. I'm surprised that worked so well, because sometimes this thing is tricky. I actually had a second one here on hand just in case I couldn't get this one to work. Ah, there we go. That worked. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the brand new 2021 Bug-Eye Ghost and see how his action feature works. So, if you try to squeeze him, it is just not going to work. All right, like I said, he has a very soft body, so it's very easy to squeeze him, which I thought would have, you know, with this more squeezable body and this bigger eye, I thought, oh, well, maybe, you know, this will make things a little easier to use this action feature. But no, I was incorrect. Because when you squeeze his body, it squeezes the hole around the eyeball. So all the air then starts to come out around the eyeball. Like, you want a real nice tight fit for that eyeball. The old one, you know, you'd stick it in there and it was very, very stiff. But this one, you know, it doesn't have much of a grip. So as soon as you start moving it, it just kind of slides out of place, and then the air just starts to you know, squeeze out. And that's no good. You don't want that. Now, the back of the card says you're supposed to hit him in the back of his back. So we'll see if that works instead. I mean, that kind of works, but I don't know. That's not as, you know, that's not as cool as just going... Which one's this? Why would you do this to me? Why would you make me look bad like this? There, you see that tight fit? Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me here. Ah, whatever. The last thing you gotta make sure to check on this guy is, can he hold his eyeball in his hands? Yes. This works very well. You can balance it up there when it doesn't fall out, and it'll stay in place pretty good, just like the original one. So, you know, don't worry about it being too big and falling out. It's fine. Okay, so here we are at the review wrap-up. And in my honest opinion, if you have the original Bug-Eye Ghost, you don't really need this guy, other than for the novelty of it, of having, like, you know, if you want one mint on card to put up on your wall or something like that. If you have this one is better. You know, it has, the color matches better from the body to the arms. You can see actual more detail on him. The detail is sharper. Usually, if you can seal him, he'll actually work well and the eyeball will pop out really good. I don't know if mine is just a little funky or what, but it seems like, if this body is too soft and it doesn't work on mine, I would imagine that would be a problem for a lot of people. So like I like it. I think it's awesome. I'm glad that Hasbro is doing this, because I'll pretty much at this point take pretty much any Ghostbusters stuff I can. Ghostbusters has had a bad history with toys, either the lines die quickly or there's just not enough love given to Ghostbusters. It's not like the Ninja Turtles or He-Man and stuff like that. So, I'm glad to see these back, hopefully on shelves where, adults could pick them up and kids can pick them up. But like I said, I think that the original one is better. If you have that one, you don't need this one. If you're upset because, Walmart canceled your order on this guy due to being sold out and they didn't know it or whatever, don't fret. You just go find this guy if you can. So, if you like Ghostbuster stuff, check out some of my other videos. I've also done a full retrospective on all the movie Ghostbuster toys, comparing every single accessory to pictures from the movie. And, comparing all the Ghostbuster ghosts and like even Harold Ramis, Bill Murray, and the likeness compared to like all the toys and stuff like that. So check that out. And I also have reviews on all 4 Gooper Ghosts. And soon I will have reviews on the Wave 2 Ghosts. I'm gonna do a thorough look at Bug Eye Ghost here, the original H2 Ghost, Bat to the Bone Ghost, and I guess I'll have to throw Slimer and Stay Puft in there too. I think, yeah, they'll be included. So, have a good one. Talk to you later, and thanks for watching.